Hey, sweeties. Just trying to find something relevant to talk to you about without going really academic. Um, I am taking a look at a couple of radical feminist sites, kind of the battle sites where they do battle with the transgender movement, the transgender crusade versus the radical feminist crusade. Um, Something called blog wars, So if you're in on the blogs, you have your own ideas of what a blog war is, but basically, it seems like internet groups summon troops to do battle in the comments, and everything's become so interconnected with Twitter and Facebook that as soon as a group finds something offensive, so in this case, questioning transphobia, that site, is pretty politically correct transfeminism, but anything that any of its feeders, the people who put stuff there, its writers, anything that they view politically incorrect from a transgender point of view, they post there, and then you get swarmed, So basically, that's a call to battle. You post a link, and you say, "I can't believe what they're saying." Everybody rushes over there to take a look and read through and be offended. I mean, there's usually something totally offensive in there. They just go crazy, this comment threads. But, then you get other groups posting there too. So it's like, whoever has the most time to sit and write replies or the most commitment, they kind of win. They swamp you get like the way you win those arguments is 10-1, or you get a so-called moderator who comes in and gives judgment on who was bad and who wasn't bad. I saw Kate Harding go in and admonish a poster that they were transphobic and they needed to apologize when I thought the trans guy who was in the fight, I thought he was completely offensive. He was totally offensive, crying transphobia against anything he didn't agree with. He was the offensive one. But then, someone who's politically correct comes in and says, "Oh, he's the victim. We should all us cis people should feel guilt." It's a lot like the phenomenon of white guilt that I grew up with. African Americans don't have shit on white guilt. It doesn't help them. And cis guilt, non-transsexual guilt. Well, anyway, so I really don't know how I got here, but back to the subject. I've been watching this new radical feminist site, and it's interesting. It's interesting because they can think things that the transgenders can't think, and the transgenders can think things that the radfems can't think, based on their dogmas. I find that groups are usually the best place to go to find critique. So they serve a purpose of keeping keeping critique out there, so I'll just read the about for this Fab Matters. It's a good writer. It's an interesting. The purpose of this blog, and Fab is female at birth, which is kind of interesting since this woman Miska, she seems to have taken over the female at birth that comes from the transgender theorists. So interesting. About fab matters, the purpose of this blog. Over several years, I have seen trans politics become further integrated into the feminist community. Many transgenderist assumptions have been absorbed by mainstream feminism with very little question or analysis, including the following. And then she gives a bullet point list. 1. Anyone who identifies as a woman is a woman and must be accepted as such. 2. Trans women lose their male privilege and entitlement through transitioning process. 3. People who are not trans are cisgendered, cissexual. 4. People who are not trans have cis privilege. Even a non-trans butch woman or effeminate man is thought to have cis privilege, despite the oppression they may bear for being gender non-conforming. 5. Trans women should be accepted into all women-only spaces. Women do not have the right to set boundaries or exclude them in any way. I have to count it. I guess this is 6. Transgenderism and its ramifications should be exempt from critical analysis by RadFems, radical feminists, radical lesbians, genderqueers, etc. Interesting that she puts genderqueers in there. I wonder if she's talking about me. Furthermore, any critical analysis is deemed phobic. And the final point. Trans activism and feminism are or should be naturally aligned. Where a discrepancy arises, feminism must be redefined to accommodate trans activism. There's a lot more, but I'm sure this is getting quite long. Oh my god! Why didn't you tell me? Talk to you later.